How I got to doing the work on Sunday morning and figuring out who I was and finding my voice, I think I can typify into a few quick stories. So I'm not a journalist. I think it's an important thing to know. A journalist is a person who writes for newspapers or magazines and prepares news to be broadcast on radio and TV. They tell stories. I'm an opinion person, and I'm very lucky that that's what I do. In fact, there was a time that I was on Larry King Live, and this was directly because of the work on Sunday morning, because I talked about politics. And just to cut to the chase, there was another woman from another political party who was talking, and when it was my turn to talk, she kind of wouldn't let me in there to talk, and it was a little bit tense. I mean, it's very difficult on those shows, as you know. They have like different people in these 4 or 5 different boxes on the screen, right? And I don't know about you, but like I felt like Alice on the Brady Bunch because I like didn't know where I should be looking. And then Larry King, I felt like if you weren't in the room, sometimes he forgot you were there, so you had to kind of like clear your voice or something, and so he would remember, you know. So this woman wouldn't let me talk. And I finally, out of frustration, did utter the term, "shut your mouth." Okay, that's bad. And then I said, "Larry, can you turn off her mic?" Like as if I was Bill O'Reilly or something. I don't know what came over me. And we cut to a commercial, and I don't remember what happened after that, but by the time the show ended, my cell phone was buzzing, and I could feel like they were emails and tweets and responses, and I was kind of scared. So I looked at the notes, and the first one that I got was a note from somebody saying, "Thank you. I watched your appearance, and I was so proud to see an African-American woman standing up for us. I'm a disabled veteran of the Gulf War, and I think you should run for political office." And I thought, oh, okay, well, that's good, okay. And then I scrolled down and I read a couple more. And so the last one and the most interesting one was someone who wrote, and he kind of went off on the deep end, so I'll just edit this a little bit. "I've seen you before, and your acumen for nothing. You are yet another in a long, disquieting line of race-baiting fools causing issues where none exist. I'm sure you believe you're carrying the torch for your cause. Understand you've done nothing and inflamed more. Where was your selective outrage? Where was your selective outrage as the oil poured out through the Gulf? Let me guess, it was President Bush and the Tea Party's fault. I'm truly disappointed at another of your angry-laced appearances." Another? So now he's calling me an angry black woman, you know. Actually, I am kind of an angry black woman, but I kind of like it. But anyway, we didn't talk about oil or anything, but I decided, again, I was going to write him back. I said, "Hello," because I didn't know his name. "I'm sorry I said shut up. That was rude and inappropriate." And I said we hadn't been discussing oil, but that didn't really matter. I wasn't race baiting. And I ended with, "In any case, even though I take issue with most of what you said, I appreciate your feedback and that you took the time to write me." Sincerely, Nancy Giles, New York City. And he wrote me back. And he said, "Nancy," he called me by name, "I'm surprised at myself, since I'm not one who usually resorts to name-calling and vitriol. I've just been so disgusted with the climate of our political interaction that I guess it's gotten the best of me. It seems that network individuals are more interested in people jumping at each other instead of reasoned discourse." And then he said, "Like I said, I've seen you before and find you infinitely more interesting than this woman that was on the show." And I was like, well, oh. And then he said, "It's a shame that the Tea Party has added another wall in between red and blue, and I weep for our American future. As for my original mail and its inflammatory components, I apologize. I would ask that you simply let me know you received this, since I appreciate your original response." Even reading it now, I almost get teary, and I had to write him back, and I said, "Hello, thank you for your response. If you'd been on Larry King, we could have had a real conversation. Our email exchange gives me hope. Thanks again, Nancy Giles. P.S. How tall are you?" Okay. Okay. I couldn't help it, you know? But wasn't that wild? What was great was we started out with completely different views, and we had this exchange, a real exchange, kind of sloppy, kind of interesting, and he even apologized, and we connected and found common ground, and that's when it really hit me home. As much as I loved acting and I loved doing voiceovers and whatnot, this work was really something that I loved, and I wanted to have a conversation with people and really get people talking, whether or not they agree with me or not, just get them talking. And I'm here to say that more people in this country only want to be heard. They're not interested in the kind of arguing that you might see on TV or even in Congress or anything. They just want to be heard and they want to communicate. And it's been a real honor for me to be a part of those conversations, even the ones that can get kind of icky. I mean, as long as nobody starts talking about my hair, I'm fine about that. But I want to end just by saying a couple of quick things. I found this quote by Winston Churchill that I loved, that I feel applies to me, and I think it applies to a lot of other women that are here, and it sort of, to me, connects with this conference. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. That really resonated with me, because I had an acting teacher, he's still an actor now, Jeffrey Tambor, who just won an Emmy for that show, Transparent. And Jeffrey is one of the most wonderful actors and one of the most kind teachers that I ever worked with, very encouraging. And he made this remark once that always stuck with me. He said, turn your quotation marks into exclamation points. So in my case, all the things that I felt were holding me back, weird hair, 6'1", can't wear heels, curvy body, always has to wear Spanx, that kind of thing. They ended up being, always wear Spanx, exclamation point. Weird hair, that's right. It's like, and I got a chance to sort of own these things. And the last piece of advice I want to give you are the two tools that have never failed me, that I've used more than anything else to give me a happy life, were therapy and medication. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the conference. Thank you. Oh my God, thank you.